Hey guys, TacticalOyster here, bringing you guys episode 10 of, let me get my sound effect going, of 3-bar exploits. We've made it to 10 episodes without, like, losing the show. We're all starting to hate each other, having some commentator drama, so that's pretty good, I think. That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
So we've got the normal crew here. Jazz could not make it, unfortunately, and we couldn't get a guest, unfortunately, which leads me to one thing I want to bring up. If you have any commentators that you like to watch between like 100 and 1,000 subs range, just so they're not like don't say Woody's gamer tag. If you have any small,
get Woody on here.
If you have any small commentators you'd like to watch that you would like to see on 3-bar exploits, definitely link them below or let them know about the show and tell them to contact us because we would gladly have guests on every week. It's just hard to find small commentators that are good at what they do.
Tweet at them, tweet at us.
Yeah, just try to
tweet at us,
look us up with some contacts if you have anybody you'd like to see on here. But anyways, we've got Bondfire and Whackmed, as you guys can see.
What up?
Hey.
So, and we've got lots of good topics here. And let's see, I don't know, Whackmed is a secret topic that isn't shared. Oh, we have to shout out Strictly Business also. Try to check out Strictly Business Gaming on Twitter at SB Gaming. Check out their website, strictlybusinessgaming.com. I'm not actually sure what the status of the pro team is yet, as far as getting their pro team put together. But definitely check them out for tournaments and things of that nature. As always, they'll be linked in the description down below. Check them out. And now into the actual topics.
I believe that if you follow them on Twitter, you'll get a rough idea of some things about their interactions with pro teams.
Oh yes, they do have. Oh, and they do have lots of stuff on there that you can kind of get some hints and stuff. Oh, and we also have party hats on. So just throw that out there.
Before topics, if you want to have a topic discussed, leave it in the comment section below or tweet us with a hashtag 3-bar exploits. We check them regularly before the show. So there's that, so that we can talk more about what you want to hear about. Maybe.
And sometimes we just need ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
We like ideas.
Although this week, because it's the 10th episode and we failed at getting a guest, we came up with a really good list of topics.
Yeah, we got a good one.
So the first topic, if you want me to go first?
Well, I was about to say, do we want to go with Whackmed's topic first because it's an impromptu? He doesn't want to tell us what it is yet. He wouldn't tell us before the show, but he said he wanted to be early on.
Yeah.
So let's just do it. Get out of the way.
People requested prison talk. So if you've got any prison talk, throw out there because people were digging the prison talk.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw my tweet.
Well, I'll get there. I'll do prison talk too. I can do prison talk.
Let's throw that. Let's throw that after like the first topic.
Yeah. Let's get
first topic. Okay, I can't release like completely what happened because this did happen to me recently. But imagine this for the two of us, the two other guys that are on the show. You're naked in the city. You wake up in a ditch. You wake up in a ditch in the middle of a city. How do you go about getting a hot meal? A hot meal.
And I'm naked in the city.
You start out naked in a ditch in a city, which goes actually along with another topic that we had in the future, or could. But you're naked.
How do I go about getting a hot
Do I know what city I'm in?
You know,
do I know the city?
You can make it your hometown, I guess.
By being in a ditch. Okay, so like there's not really ditches in cities. Like most cities are relatively flat. So are we like?
Every city's got drainage.
Are we hypothetically like in the middle? Like we're not like a mile outside the city and we have to hike in.
No,
like, we're in the city.
Yeah, you're inside the city limits.
Okay.
Well inside the city limits. You start out naked in a retention pond or a drainage ditch or.
Okay. Do I have any clothes like anywhere near? Am I just naked?
No, you start out.
You're butt naked.
You start out the way you came into this earth.
Do I have any supplies, like any cell phone, anything, or I'm just nothing?
Where are you gonna put it?
Nothing.
Where are you gonna put it?
I'm just trying to get.
That's right.
I'm just trying to get.
I'm already topic wins. I know where I'm going.
I'm just trying to get the full scenario of my options so that
I'm going to the homeless shelter for that free meal.
How are you gonna get there? Cause
walk
naked down the middle of the street.
Right. You can get arrested for being naked in public, right?
Public indecency.
And then
you're
you know what?
To jail.
I'm going to jail. I'm getting clothes.
And you're getting food.
And a meal.
I think that's a fail of an answer, but I was looking for some more.
That's what.
Strategic.
What are you expecting?
Okay, and maintain your freedom.
I'm gonna go steal some clothes at the nearest store, and then I'm gonna go.
So you're just gonna like go crash the gate to the store. You're just gonna walk in the front door. Hi, how are you? My name is Bondfire.
Hey, I need to try these clothes on, and just leave.
I have a question. You said this happened to you recently. Does this mean that you woke up in a ditch naked in the city?
No.
It's not. That's,
No.
I find that to
No.
be disappointing.
So what he's referring to is the guy that he found naked. He went to the paramedics.
I just wanted to ask to make sure.
Yeah, no, this didn't happen to me. It just no.
All right, Oyster, what would you do? I gave my answer, and
How did-
apparently it wasn't good
Well, your
enough.
answer sucks.
How
I'm
do you
trying to
maintain
think
your
of something
freedom?
good.
I give the most realistic answer.
Well, this
Yeah,
show
but
isn't about
anybody-
realism. We talk about video games. Come on.
What, video games aren't real?
You
They
hit the
will
B
be at a
button.
future topic. Spoiler alert. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
okay. Stick around for that about an hour in. Yeah, drive up that audience retention. But, okay, you can't go to a restaurant because no restaurant's going to serve you while naked.
Right. See, I like. You're trying. Thank you.
You theoretically can't travel very far because eventually a cop's going to see you and they're most likely going to arrest you or do something with you.
Not if you're a sneaky ninja like me.
Where you gonna hide in the city? It's just a bunch of sidewalks.
Not inside his coat.
Oh my god, whatever.
So yeah.
I'm finding the nearest apartment complex.
Okay.
Or like town, like some, not necessarily that, but like
He's gonna break a few laws here.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's like, you know how people have like these like apartment buildings that are like in the city, but it's not like it's a giant skyscraper and you go in the bottom floor and it's like a lobby and then you get, but it's like just a house on the sidewalk, like you just walk right up to the front door kind of deal.
Right.
I'm
Most of those are locked.
I'm going to the nearest one of those. I'm just knocking on every door on that street until somebody opens the door and gives me more than 5 seconds before they slam it in the face. So I'll explain what happens and just try to get some food and clothes. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Okay.
That'd be my answer.
Okay. So my thought was I'd be going through like people's backyards, or find an apartment complex.
Too much backyards in the middle of the city.
Well, I mean, my city does. It's just there's housing
middle of the
subdivisions. Yeah, there are housing
Well,
subdivisions.
I thought I was thinking like downtown, but okay.
My city's much smaller.
That
The,
was
the
too.
biggest part of my city's smaller than yours. So, anyway, you just go through housing areas until you find either clothes on a clothesline or a shirt in somebody's car, and smash the window, get the shirt. That was kind of my idea. Is first get clothing, and then you can like beg for $10, panhandle till you can
go to McDonald's or
go
something.
to McDonald's and get a.
Now, if we're going to be creative, I'm looking around in the ditch for a jagged rock, and then I'm going to the nearest like fancy restaurant, like like restaurants that are $100 or more, like really fancy restaurant, and I'm taking my jagged rock and threatening to stab anybody who doesn't give me a steak, and I'm getting my food that way. Then I'm stealing the clothes. I'm stealing one article of clothing from 4 different patrons so that I walk out looking fine with like a nice sports coat on, and then I'm
Like
just
that
gonna.
blazer last week?
Yeah, exactly. The blazers,
It's never going away.
the blazers.
Never.
I'm bringing the blazer back as soon as I can find it, people. I don't have the blazer. I don't think we addressed this at the beginning of the show. This is important news, so I'm going to address it now. I don't have the blazer because I couldn't find it, so I'm wearing a Charlotte Bobcats t-shirt instead.
What sport is that?
Did you
What
just say what
sport is
sport
that?
is that? Are you being
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Waxman, I'm about to beat from the Skype call. It's going to happen.
That's okay.
I know you don't like NBA, but still, like, come on.
Sorry.
I don't even know.
New topic.
This is awkward now. This is
We've
awkward.
moved on.
Where's the new topic thing?
We moved on after Bondfire gave that crap answer. Let's just be real here.
Oh, wait, my
That
bad.
was a good one. Because that's what people do. Unless you go to the paramedics and find Whackman.
Whatever. Okay, do we want to... Let's see.
New topic.
We've got multiple options here.
Well, just go down the line.
You want to go in order for what
Yes,
we
go
wrote
in
down?
order. That's fine.
All right.
The
Topic number
numbers for a
2.
reason.
All right. Well, should game developers cater to certain parts of the community? And this topic is inspired by the fact that Call of Duty, David Vonderhaar, Nerf the snipers, Vonderhaar specifically, only him, is all his fault.
I was about to say, did you really?
He nerfed the snipers so that it's harder to hit feeds and stuff now, and it's harder to quickscope theoretically. And the sniping community went up in arms and were like,
my
I'm 12 years old and I can't hit my kill feeds. And they got all pissed off, and now they're saying that, they're not playing Black Ops 2 anymore, they're going back to the old COD and stuff, just because they can't hit their feeds as easily.
Well, and
So-
Treyarch, the Treyarch community manager had to, tweet out or something saying, you need to stop giving Vanderhaar death threats.
Death threat.
It was ridiculous. I mean,
That's pretty
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But yeah, but the bigger question, so just so we don't get stuck, I don't want to get stuck on the COD specific part of this as much, although COD's a good example because it has multiple different communities within the game. But the general question is, should game developers cater to specific areas, like for using COD as an example, like should they cater to snipers, should they cater to competitive players, should they cater to campers, rushers, all that kind of stuff. And feel free to leave a comment below letting us know what you think. But let's get into this. Who wants to take it first?
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think they should cater to specific player types. I mean, you should always cater to the person who's going to purchase your game, but I don't think you should make one, for using Call of Duty for example, like the snipers outdo everything. Or like when Black Ops 2 was first released, the SMGs were dominating everything, and so it seems like they catered the game towards SMG gameplay, small gun gameplay. I think you have to make it all pretty even. I mean, there has to be a balance so everyone who purchases the game or wants to play the game can enjoy it. So you're catering to the player or the person who's buying the game instead of the specific class type.
Yeah, somewhat. I really agree with you. I think that the big deal is making sure that you're true to the game.
Yeah.
You built the game for a reason. Before anybody ever bought this game, you did something specific to make this game what it is, and now it's really popular. Well, quick scoping is an abomination to the game, kind of like the points that were made in previous shows about head glitching and the way lag compensation works, and a couple of other things that are just completely unrealistic. Quickscoping should never work. But it does.
It shouldn't, but do you have a problem with it?
Yes.
I do.
If you could say right now you have an on-off switch, you could say, I'm flipping the switch, quickscoping is now impossible. It's like Battlefield or like any other sniping game with snipers where you cannot quickscope. Would you flip the switch?
Yes. It wouldn't. I don't think it would be like Battlefield because.
Well, I'm just saying as an example, like getting rid of quickscoping, just in general.
I still think you should.
At this moment, no. In this game, no. In the middle of this game, absolutely not. Before the next game is released, the next game does not ship with the ability to quickscope. That's how I would handle it.
Okay. What are you gonna do if you're? What are you gonna do if you're? Well, Optic Hex is a bad example because he's making lots of money off of other things, not really sniping within Optic. But what are you going to do if you're the leader of FaZe and your whole income comes off of the FaZe clan channel? What are you going to do if you're the leader of Obey or
those
Soar?
Little stupid trick shots they do? You know what? That's fine.
You know what? The thing.
But like you're kill. I mean, it's. I've wished that when COD was originally created, quickscoping was not possible. I'm saying this far into it, there's so many people who quickscope and use it as like a YouTube platform, and that's what they do on YouTube and things like that. I'm saying you're killing such a large, like sniping. If you look at sniping on the whole YouTube community, sniping's probably at least 25% of the COD YouTube community.
Okay.
If you count in editors, players, clans, all of that.
So look at it like a business, because that's their source of income, right? So if you look at it as a business, so let's take digital distribution in the music industry, for example.
Okay.
So as soon as that hits, you got iTunes blowing everyone up. People who get physical records, they're going out of business. So what do they have to do? They have to adapt to the business environment. So what those YouTubers have to do that just spend all their time doing these trick shots and making those sniper montages, they have to adapt and overcome and expand their gameplay.
Okay, that's fair. But in the music industry, when it shifts to digital distribution, the artist doesn't lose a bunch of fans because a bunch of people say we want it on vinyl.
That's not what I'm talking about as far as the business. It's the business, so like Best Buy or those local record stores. That's the example I was using.
It's a good.
So then who's the musician?
So the record store.
Who's the record store and who's iTunes?
Ignore the musician. So the record store is the FaZe Sniper Clan.
Okay.
So right now the record stores, before digital distribution, they were making money off of CD sales and record sales. So now after digital distribution, people, instead of going to their store and buying those things, they're just going online and buying them. So therefore they're losing money. It's a different way. They're not able to generate the same amount of revenue because someone else is getting their music. So comparing it to the FaZe Clan, they're generating all the revenue from their sniper montages and those YouTube videos. Now, if that's taken away from them, they have to find another way to adapt and overcome to continue getting views. So do you see the similarities there?
That's fair, and I understand your point. Now, what if all music sales across the board drop by 25%?
Even digital?
Like just because look at Treyarch or Infinity Ward or Activision as being the musician. Now, if let's say that all the people who bought CDs or vinyl records or whatever, they all said, okay, we're not buying music anymore. If you're not going to give it to us on a CD, we're not going to buy it. So if Treyarch, I keep saying Treyarch, but whoever makes COD, if they do that,
Activision.
and then a bunch of these snipers refuse to buy any of the new games, then they're losing sales. So what if all music sales got cut by 25% after they did that? Then what?
That's retarded, first of all. And I'm not saying that your analogy is retarded. I'm saying if they did that, it would be retarded, because what they're making money off of is, first, Call of Duty. Second, and very close to first, is sniping in Call of Duty. So the sniping part's not gone. The feed is gone. So what it means is that you have to develop a different type of montage. The damage wasn't nerfed, was it? I mean, the guns are still as powerful as they were.
All that was nerfed was the amount of time it takes to pull the bolt back and put it back in. That's all that was nerfed.
And the out of sprint time.
Oh yeah, that too.
For the DSR, but the actual damage wasn't nerfed. So the only thing they lost, I don't like that they lost the ability to make a quad feed. I think you should be able to make a full feed from no matter what weapon you have. So that was a little far-fetched. So maybe change the ability in the way that it scrolls up in the feed. But other than that, it's quick scoping shouldn't have been there in the first place. Now, if you want to go back to the original topic, which was the original topic being catering to people, I think that the way you cater to people is that you actually cater to the game. If the game becomes something different, are you saying that Call of Duty has become something more than the game? I think that's where we're at this point, is that the community and everything around it, what having a platform in Call of Duty has created. I'm not explaining this well. Call of Duty comes out and it is the platform which you're on.
There's lots of different people who do different things with Call of Duty, I guess.
Right. And so YouTube is this high off the platform with all of the things that it does, and then competitive is this high off the platform with all the things that it does, and then there's a level of marketing, and then, there's a level of retail and jersey sales and uniform outfits. If that is at a specific level bigger than the game, then you have to cater to that community more so than that game. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand. Like if 95% of Call of Duty players are playing some form of competitive play, you're going to cater to competitive because it's basically all you've got. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is it's not the percentage of stuff in the game. What I'm saying is that if Call of Duty comes out, if Ghost comes out, and overall total, Activision makes $100 billion off Ghost. Then, on top of that's fine. They make $100 billion, no big deal. That's the platform. Because Ghost is released, YouTube makes $100 billion, the same amount, and competitive MLG, ULG, UMG, ABCDEFG.
Made up ULG there, but keep going.
Makes $200 billion. And jerseys or uniform shirts, T-shirts, and all this other kind of retail stuff. Is, a gun company comes out with a gun specific for this, comes up to $200 billion. So you've got $500 billion of profit that's being made out there off of a $100 billion platform. What I'm saying is that then the community around it is bigger than the actual platform. You need to cater to.
All right. So you're saying if you make more money off of MLG viewers than you do off of selling the actual game, you should cater to MLG. And if MLG is making more money than YouTube is, you should cater to MLG over YouTube.
What I'm saying is if people make more money off of the stuff off of this game than they do actually off the game, then that's where you cater.
I understand.
If you make more money by making the game, then you stay with making the game. You just remain true to the game.
Yeah, I follow now. Okay.
Okay.
First, before we get further into this topic, I want to say the 2 snipers who disliked my video today, talking about why the sniping nerf was a good thing, someone commented, and I don't want to call him out because he is a friend of mine, I know who he is, and I respect his opinion 100%. He says, then how come they haven't touched the LMGs or shotties or EMP nades? Those are more OP than sniping. That's like saying, and I commented this back to him, that's like saying if you have a truck, let's get a truck talk, if you have a truck and you have a flat tire and you have a blown out engine, you're saying you're not going to change the tire because your engine's blown out. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to have more OP things? Like, if you have 5 OP things, why would you not fix one just because you have 4 other ones that you haven't fixed yet? That defies logic to me, that point. I'm sorry. I don't get it.
I don't understand how LMGs are overpowered.
They are. They definitely are. I don't want to get into COD talk, but if we want to throw that in at the end, we can maybe. But I disagree. And this person.
I'm not agreeing. I'm not espousing a side. I just don't understand. But we'll get there later.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think the only community that should be catered to, in general, is competitive. And I don't say that because I like competitive and I play some competitive. I say that because competitive gaming in general, esports, whether it's Call of Duty, League of Legends, StarCraft, Dota, Counter-Strike, anything, competitive gaming has the opportunity, if it gets big enough, to validate the gaming community among other media items like movies or TV. I feel like right now, by the general population overall in this world, that gaming is still viewed as kind of a niche. And kind of like, it's not, gaming is not movies, it's not television, it's not literature. Like, it's still viewed as kind of this, do it while you're a kid, and then if you're not a kid, you're living in your mom's basement kind of thing, and it's not like a legitimate media item. Whereas I feel like competitive gaming could take it to that point. Like, if you have Pro Call of Duty being broadcast on ESPN, then gaming is validated up there, which is the only reason I think competitive gaming should be catered to more, just because competitive gaming can be, nobody, if sniping is really easy in the next Call of Duty, that does nothing to do with anything except sniping in Call of Duty. If competitive gaming is really huge, then it can change not only that game, but it can change gaming as a whole across the board. So,
did you notice in a very similar side to this topic that there was an article put out talking about, because of the death threats and because of the backlash that Treyarch and Activision, and specifically David Bondfire, received, that is the reason why gaming isn't taken seriously?
That's an interesting point.
That is interesting.
I mean, when's the last time
people send death threats? People send death. You guys remember the last Super Bowl it was actually the NFC Championship game. The guy for San Francisco, he like muffed a punt or something and like almost basically lost San Francisco the game at the end. You guys might not remember, but it was like in the NFC Championship game this past year, San Francisco versus who represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. I don't remember, but I don't remember exactly what happened, but basically somebody like muffed a punt or something in the NFC title game, and that team lost, and they got knocked out of the playoffs. And he muffed this punt with like 2 minutes left or something. It was in the fourth quarter, and he got a bunch of death threats sent to him by fans saying that you lost us our chance to go to the Super Bowl and everything, and just people freaking out. Like, it wasn't, I don't remember what team it was actually, but
was it Seattle?
I don't remember. Maybe it was it must have been 2 years ago, because San Francisco, were they? I don't know. Regardless, they sent death threats to this player because and I remember it was a huge news story, it was all over ESPN and stuff. A bunch of fans are sending death threats to this player saying, you lost us our chance to go to the Super Bowl and stuff because you made this play on the field. I don't see how that's any different. People were sending death threats. I'm sure some author has been sent death threats because of the way he ended a series of books or something, and he did an ending that people didn't like. I'm sure. I mean, I understand the point completely, but I think people, if they think it only happens in gaming, then they're kind of delusional.
That's true. If you can turn it to soccer. There was it was probably 10 years ago or so that the goalie let one get by him or something. They lost the game and he got shot up in the parking lot.
Yeah, there was like a
or there are
Colombian. I remember this.
There are whole
situation.
cities that riot whenever their team loses and like burn it to the ground.
A soccer ref stabbed a player in Brazil like 3 weeks ago because the player argued with the ref after the player got I think he got like a yellow card or a red card. I don't remember. He argued with the ref about a call. Ref stabbed him. Ref goes in the parking lot, gets stoned to death by fans. Like crap like that happens all the time, and other
Soccer
things.
fans are nuts.
I agree. South American soccer is not where you want to be.
Biggest sport in the entire world.
But it only happens in certain places. Like I actually like soccer and I follow it decently. The United States just won the Gold Cup, by the way, today. But
Congratulations, go USA.
yeah, exactly.
Go America.
But like that only happens in like South American countries, honestly. Like Brazil, it happens. Stuff like that happens a lot and stuff. You know, I don't know.
Doesn't that stuff happen in Europe too?
Not really. Maybe over in the Eastern Bloc where all the Soviets want to uprise again, but you know, not places that are major soccer places. But anyways, you have anything else on the game dance catering? Or is that the new topic sound? What are we doing here?
I don't know, but that was incredibly loud. Oh,
Who did that? I didn't do that.
I did that.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Okay. You blew out your own eardrums.
Yeah, let's move on. You know what time it is?
It's 11:20, but I feel like there's a different answer.
that's-
Party time!
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Prison talk
Don't
time.
never do that again. First of all.
Well, you guys shouldn't.
Oh, it was
anyway.
hilarious.
Prison talk time.
Oh
Is it
yeah,
Prison
that's right.
Talk time. Okay, Prison Talk. Hey, thank you for leaving in the comments below that you wanted to hear Prison Talk, and I am flattered that somebody actually wanted to hear me on the microphone again. Thank you, I appreciate it very much. I've been racking my brain trying to come up with some Prison Talk topics, and this one is nice and gross for everybody. And
All right.
It's kind of hard. I only worked there for 13 months, but I'll keep this going as long as you want to hear it.
Prison story every time.
It's actually jail talk, and in jail there's no way to work out. There's no way to lift weights, but I'm going to try to tie this in.
You don't have like a rec yard or
There's
whatever?
nothing
lift, bro?
that can move. No, you don't lift, bro. No, but the people that are stuck in the fish bowls, you can from one side of the fish bowl to the other is probably 30 yards at the very most, 90
Wait,
feet,
what is the
100
fish
feet.
bowl?
The cell, the big cell. There's
okay.
a big cell, and then there's little cells around the edge. It's actually like a common room,
All right.
and then individual cells on the backside go upstairs. Individual cells
Okay.
on that. So in the fishbowl, you've got 100 feet across, and it's shaped in a kind of like a V, kind of like an infield. To get exercise before you get to go out to the rec yard, which is just an open grass field with a pull-up bar. To get exercise, the guys would walk around. They'd walk around they'd run around if they had time, but when people got up into moving around, they couldn't do it. So they'd get up and they'd walk around, and this was the way they exercised. They'd get chairs or not the chairs, but the chairs are bolted to the floor. So they do like back squats to get their exercise that way.
Tricep dips.
I'm trying to figure out what's so important about exercising in jail. I've actually heard stories from people, the INS inmates, which is Immigration Naturalization Services inmates, that they would come back from prison, but they couldn't be released, so they'd just stay in a jail. That lifting was so important that everybody did it. Well, your diet's restricted. Okay, so let's start doing the math here. Your diet's restricted, and there's only a certain amount and certain type of intake that you can be given. And if you want to be a big hunkin' bodybuilder, you've got to have a specific diet. You've got to have a lot of one certain kind of thing to grow those muscles. Class, we know what that is. It's protein. Protein builds muscles.
Or steroids, but anyways.
How do you get protein in prison? Just saying, that's pretty gross. But lifting is so important that that they'd actually get protein from the other inmates, and that's it's pretty nasty prison talk for the week. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like how brush my teeth.
So you lift, bro?
Gosh.
Do you lift Bondfire?
You lift, bro?
Not anymore. That is disgusting. Oh man. Anyways,
That seems that's odd, man.
Welcome back to Prison
Talk
Talk.
for the week.
Not going to be a third week. How much you want to bet? There's no third week.
Dude, that's going to get
I'll
so
come
many
up with
comments.
something.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
They're demanding Prison Talk.
I'm gonna be blowing
I'm
it
actually
up.
surprised because you were like, when you were doing Prison Talk, like when you were week 1, when you were wrapping it up, you're like, "Now let's move on," because I'm sure nobody wants to hear me talk about prison Talk. And I'm like, I kind of enjoy listening to that. It's, you know,
I think I like
whatever.
that.
And then everybody, like, there's like 3 different people in the comment section bringing up Prison Talk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. Good stuff.
Next topic. We want to talk about the small consoles. No?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. So this stems from an IGN article that says that 73% of Ouya owners have not actually purchased a game for the console yet. And so, for those of you who don't know, that Ouya is a smaller console. I don't even know when it came. It's been out for like 6 months, I think. No, 1 month.
No.
1 month. It's been.
Yeah,
it's
like a
sorry.
month.
I misread the article. They've only been able to develop for it for 6 months, and it's been out for 1 month basically. And basically, it's a free-to-play console. Except that you buy the games. You can get free trials for the games, and then you have to buy the full version for most of them.
For those who don't know, it's an Android-based operating system, so it's similar to your Galaxy S3.
Think of it honestly. In reality, it's like having an app store on a console, and the apps are all games. Because there'll be free-to-play games that are exclusively free, but have ads. But then you can get free trials, and then you can upgrade to the full version of games. But at the base level, it's free to play. But then you have to buy stuff to get the full experience, obviously. But only 73%, or only 27%, that is, of people who have bought the console so far have actually bought the full version of a game and paid money to get a game. And that led to talking about, we heard all this hype about the Steam box, which I don't know anything about the status of that right now, to be honest. The Ouya was put out there a lot, and now it's out, and it sounds like it's not doing as well as they would have liked. Although the CEO says it's nothing to worry about, as you would expect him to say. The Oculus Rift is something Whackmed knows something about. I don't know if that's... I know a little bit about it, like what it is. I don't know if that's considered like a console or what exactly it is.
It's going to be its own console, yeah. Well,
all right.
It won't need a console. It'll be a standalone type like a console.
Okay. And I can't think of any other small ones. Lots have been brought up in the last 8 months-ish.
The
Can you guys
Gear
think of any other?
Pop or Game Pop or something.
I know what you're talking about, I think.
It's a USB
there's
drive.
a Game Stick. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I
actually haven't heard of that. I don't know what that is.
It's a thumb drive and a controller.
Yep.
You plug your thumb drive into your TV. You switch your TV to USB. It launches and loads, and you play that.
That's interesting.
So I'm thinking you could probably do Nintendo games. The original 8-bit Nintendo games could probably be launched with like 3 or 4 of them on each game. Not that Nintendo makes this, but something similar to that. So
our topic really was why. So the Ouya, we can say, has been less successful than expected. It hasn't. I wouldn't consider it a complete bomb yet because it's only been out for a month and it's a new kind of idea. I mean, it's not a new idea at its core, but bringing that idea to console is new. And so but it, regardless, hasn't been as successful as they thought it would be. And there hasn't been, like, once the Xbox One and the PS4 hype actually, like, once we found out actual info and it wasn't just speculation, basically after the reveals more or less came out, all console talk has been dominated by those, which you would expect, but I expected there to be a little bit more talk about these other consoles. Maybe I was just delusional, but I kind of expected. I wouldn't say I expected people to buy like an Ouya. Say I want an Ouya instead of an Xbox. Like I don't know if I would get that far, but I expected there to be more talk about it and stuff. But there's just nothing, and I guess we want to talk about why that is, or what they could have done differently to build some more hype or be more successful, or what's wrong with the consoles or whatever. So one of you guys can take it away.
Well, I think you have to look at their biggest competitor, and that is tablets, mobile phones. Everyone has a smartphone these days, and they're going to play those games on a smartphone. So what it comes down to is, would you rather play those same games, like Angry Birds is such an easy example, would you rather play that with the controller on your TV? Probably not, because you're not going to devote time to play Angry Birds or those mobile-type games, hence mobile in that title. You're not going to devote that time to sit down on the couch, pick up the controller, and play those types of games. And I would think that the majority of the people would feel that way. I mean, I don't want to play those mobile games. Sit down and play that. If I'm going to sit down and play a game, I'm going to devote my time to an actual console game. And I just don't. People look at those games as time fillers. So when they're waiting in the lobby at a dentist appointment, or they're on a lunch break at work, you know, that's when they'll bust them out and take, you know, 5 to 10 minutes to get in a quick Angry Birds sesh, and then they're on their way. They're not going to come home and be like, you know what, I'm going to play some Angry Birds and pop on the Ouya, and there you go. No, I personally, I think it's a dumb console.
Now, I'm assuming that there's more depth to these games than your typical mobile game, although I don't know for sure, but I mean, conceptually it is the same. You're not getting a full Call of Duty or, you know, Battlefield or sports game experience out of it.
And I remember when this was in the Kickstarter before it was actually, you know, developed, and because they did their fundraising through Kickstarter, a Kickstarter campaign. And I remember they were talking like with certain developers who were going to develop exclusives for the Ouya, so it could have those console quality like titles. Nothing's been announced of it. No, like you don't see anything about it. At least I haven't.
Were these big companies that were saying this, or like indie developers? Because there have been all of the games that are developed for the Ouya have to be exclusives, because it's. Unless you want to put it on an Android phone, I guess. But I mean,
well, it's based on the Android operating system, so I would think that any developers working on it are just porting their game over from, you know, Android or iPhone to the specific Android iOS.
They referenced a game in here that was like their most successful game so far. So yeah, it says currently the biggest hit on the console is Towerfall from developer Matt Thorson, and he's generated about $21,000 of income off of it after. That's after the Ouya cut, so that's all of that he's actually taking home. And they say it's relatively healthy for a new console, but I mean, I guess like someone like that, if you're an indie developer, I mean, you have to. We haven't played the Ouya, so we don't know, but you have to think that you can do more with this than you can do with a phone. I mean, you have to be able to. Like, obviously, you're not going to have the power of if it's free to play based, you're not going to be able churning out games as complex as you'll see on Xbox or PlayStation, but if it's only the power of a phone, it has to be pointless. So I have to think you have to have a little more power than a phone in it. But either way, I think they're trying to create a middle ground between mobile games that are small and quick and between big console games.
Yeah,
I don't really think there's a demand for that middle ground.
Yeah.
So you got let me bring it. You got several problems here. Yes, the console is more powerful. The problem is that it's only being cared about on the developer side by people who make telephone games, because they're going to interact in a similar way. They're already familiar with the Linux, Android platform, so this is going to be their bonus and their plus. The good things about the Ouya are from a consumer side is that it's $100. You can buy one right now for $100, and if you can find something to do with it, then it's a pretty good $100. The problem is you can't find anything to do with it. Since nobody had this console, since not very many people promised to buy this console with their pre-order, if you could even pre-order, developers didn't give it a whole lot of money, attention money being kind of synonymous in that statement. They didn't give it a whole lot of attention because they didn't know what. It's a huge risk not knowing what the return on that investment would be. Yep. Now they've gone from at launch like 8,000 developers to like 20,000 developers, and people are starting to write games for the Ouya. I said in my video plug, I still don't care. The Ouya, I think that Bondfire made the I think that Bondfire made the biggest point, and that's that these types of games I would rather play on my telephone while I'm waiting for something, not come home and say, hey, let me see how many levels I can clear on this, that, and the other. Where it will be beneficial is for grandmas and granddads to pick one of these up so that whenever the grandkids come over, there's at least something there for them to do. This has a place in a home that is not devoted to hardcore gaming, for social gaming. This would be a good place. The problem is there are still no huge games available for this, and there are no super promising games available for this. And if I'm not mistaken, No, you know, I'm not even going to speculate on Towerfall because I'm thinking 3 or 4 different games, so I'm not going to speculate on what it does. But even Towerfall, the most promising, wonderful, super cool game for this, hasn't made any money. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
well,
it hasn't. I had a figure here.
It's made 21. The developers
$21,000.
That
that doesn't pay somebody's salary for 1 year to write this game. Why would you?
Well,
and it's the most popular. You can't expect to build a game to make $100,000 when right now the most popular game has only made 21 grand. That means any other game in a month. Okay, well, Call of Duty made 21 grand on pre-orders in the first day.
You can't compare Call of Duty.
Yeah, but you have a
what I'm saying is, if I'm Activision, who am I going to invest my money in? Where's my return coming from?
Right, but they're not trying to get Activision. They're trying to get the 1- and 2-man crews that are out there, you know, in the indie developers.
Sure.
Which I think here's the problem with the small consoles. All these small consoles, well, I won't say all. The Ouya specifically is trying to beat. I'm going to say trying to beat the big consoles. I mean, I'm assuming they're trying to beat the big consoles. Why would you make it if you weren't trying to beat them? I mean, saying, okay, we just want to have a niche here. You know, I mean, theoretically, I would like to compete with the bigger consoles, at least somewhat. You know, have a little bit, somewhat sizable market share. They're trying to do that by doing something different than what the big consoles are doing. I don't know what another big technology company, because you got Microsoft makes a console and Sony makes a console. If another big company like that made technology stuff decided to screw Nintendo, they're dead.
Oh, come on!
If another big technology company that's not currently in consoles, I can't think of one off the top of my head, I'm sorry, that would make sense. But, you know, a company that makes TVs or something, or a company that makes, like if Apple, let's say Apple wanted to make a console, okay? They said, we're going to make a console, and we're going to try to make it more powerful and have more features and make it more popular than the Xbox and PlayStation. They could do that because they could put the funding behind it, and they could make a console that's like them but better. But if you're trying to, you know, make a cheap alternative that does something different, I think the only way you can compete with the Xbox and the PlayStation is to be like the Xbox and PlayStation, but just try to be better, in my opinion. And I don't know what the Steam box is trying to do. Oculus Rift is really far out there, obviously, and you can talk about that if you want, Whackmed. But
Oculus is actually creating their own hole to play in, their own playground to play on. So that's a slightly different topic. I'm going to let Bondfire finish up his thoughts.
Well, I was going to say, I disagree with you, Oyster, just a little bit, because I don't think Ouya, like, when they were developing this, I don't think they were going straight for the big, you know, Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, putting it out there.
What?
Because what I think their thought process is they saw an opportunity with the mobile market, because there are some people out there who think mobile gaming is going to take over and be very competitive to console gaming.
Those people are what we would call non-gamers, but anyways.
Yeah, I disagree with them. So, but I think they believed in that idea and wanted to capitalize on it. So I think that's why they created the Ouya.
Fair, but when you say that, saying that they wanted to capitalize because they think mobile gaming is going to become the main platform for gaming, that implies that mobile gaming is going to overtake console gaming, which implies that the Ouya is going to overtake the big consoles, in my opinion. But
sure, and I see that connection there. I see that connection there. But I think initially it was to capitalize on that mobile market and then make it as big. So in the long run, yes, I can see that. But I think initially it starts with just capitalizing that mobile market.
Now, I think that there are a lot of games on mobile platforms that you would like to have the ability for that game to be expanded, for that game to be bigger and more than just what it is. And I don't have any specific game that I'm thinking of.
I can think of one.
Okay. Infinity
Blade. It's on the for the iPad.
Is that like Fruit Ninja?
No, kind of. It's actually a really fun game because what it is it's basically it's combat. So it's perfect because as you swipe, that's how you swing your sword, and you block and you can dodge, and you basically just get on these one-on-one battles as you journey through to fight like the king or this god. as he's like the final boss. And the point of it is he's a really high level, and when you reach that level, most likely you're going to die unless you're a high level. So that's the point of the Infinity Blade, because you'll die and then you'll go back and then you kind of do the whole thing again. There's different paths you can take, and I think that game would be cool to expand upon, because just the world would be kind of cool to learn more and be able to explore. So I think that would be a game.
So if it has the ability to be bigger, then that's cool, and that's something that you can do with it. Now, from the comments that I've read on this thing, on the Ouya specifically, it has about as much power as the PlayStation 1 or the N64, I think is something else I read. Somewhere around that level of power. I don't know if that's graphic generation, I don't know if that's memory, and I do remember that the PlayStation had memory sticks. You had to have a memory stick, did you not, to save something?
PlayStation memory cards, yeah.
Other than that, you were back to cheat codes.
On the PlayStation?
So, yeah, the N64 didn't have a way to save it all, did it? It's the memory card, memory sticks?
Yeah, they did that on the, I know they did that on the GameCube.
The N64, you would save on the cartridge, and then when those filled up, you could do memory cards into the controller.
Okay, so
it was kind of like the Rumble Pack.
A limited amount of game space to save, and depending on what it was that you were saving in there. So you're still talking about a limited amount of power, and retro gaming is actually pretty big in itself. So there's a place for this, but like I said, I don't think it's the hardcore gamer. I think it's a very small marketplace, and I don't think if this becomes big, it'll be a long time coming. And it will need, as I said in my video, you don't need 10 of these smaller things. That would be the worst thing possible for this type of console. You need 1 or 2 of this style of console to move this market forward.
Yeah. I think they're trying to create a middle ground between console gaming and mobile gaming that doesn't have enough of a demand. But what you said about the mobile, like, would you want to expand mobile games? Well, if you expand the mobile games, then you might as well just put it on the Xbox One. Like, why would you want to? Why would you want to say, okay, we're gonna let's take, I don't know, let's just use Angry Birds. I don't even play mobile games that much, so I don't know what's in right now, quote unquote. Let's just take Angry Birds because everybody knows what Angry Birds is. If the people who develop Angry Birds say we want to expand this and take it to a console, and we want it to be bigger and have more features and more depth. Basically, it's all about depth of the game. Is it just one thing over and over, but with a different setting, or is it lots of different things? If they wanted to do that, why do they want to go to the Ouya when they're limited in how much they can expand? They have a limited market, all that stuff. Why wouldn't they want to go to Microsoft or Sony, or go to the new Apple console, using that hypothetical still, and start it off on a starter? If you were going to go with a starter console, to do one that has enough power, because I mean, if they want to expand it, I mean, no game on the Ouya in the next 12 months is going to be as popular as Angry Birds. So if you're going to expand it, you might as well expand it to somewhere where you can actually expand the franchise, if that makes sense. Like, you can't expand the franchise on the Ouya.
Now, I think what they're hoping for is that the developers, the lower level developers, will have a place to be, and I think that Microsoft and Sony have both undercut the Ouya's efforts by becoming as popular with developers as they can possibly be, by making it easy on developers, and I think that's really hurt the Ouya and its abilities. But if you were a developer, the Ouya is where you want to look. If it's that cheap, that free, that user-friendly, because in theory you can write this whole game on your Linux system, on a regular Linux platform, and then only after you finished your game with minimal investment, get a hold of Ouya and basically port your game into the first console it's written for, with very limited porting requirements.
The only way, last thing I'll say about it, the only way the Ouya gets any kind of a foothold in the gaming community, the only way it becomes more than a footnote or anything, is if they get the next Minecraft. If they get the next Minecraft, if they get a game that is an indie game, because that's what Minecraft could have easily, you know, if they started developing Minecraft today instead of 4 years ago or whatever it was, then theoretically Minecraft could have been developed for the Ouya and become what it is. Like it's a close possibility. It makes sense. The only way is if they get a game like that and some popular YouTuber plays it, and then it just spreads from there, and then people say, this game looks amazing, and the Ouya is only $100. I'm gonna buy the Ouya. I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna play some other games too. That's the only way. If they can't hit Dynamite like Minecraft or something close to that, because we may never see an indie game get that popular again. That's the only way, in my eyes.
I think we will. I think that's one of the great things about independent developers is they're able to take those risks. So you'll see a lot of new things, new things to try, new different types of games and game modes, and I think that's the beauty of it. Because big AAA developers like Activision, they're not going to take those risks. So and I think it's good that we have people willing to take those risks. It's great for the industry.
I agree.
I was going to say one thing. The only thing I can see people buying the Ouya for now is so they can quote-unquote jailbreak it and, you know, put emulators on it and all that stuff, get their Nintendo games going.
They have built-in emulators, I think.
I know that Android does, but they don't do the ROMs, so you have to go find them.
I think they
I'm
do.
pretty sure there's some form of built-in emulators in it. I don't know a lot about
Yeah, but they don't give you the ROMs. I don't.
the actual games.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Well, I think you could buy the games. I don't know, but
well,
yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that possibility of jailbreaking
But
and
most
stuff.
people who are going to be playing emulators are doing it on a PC. So, yeah.
Anything else to add before we move on?
No, I think we covered that one pretty good. Yeah.
Do you got Bondfire? Looking at since Whackman's using Skype chat, Bondfire. Looking at, do you want to move to topic 3 or topic 4? So I don't know if I'm prepared to talk about topic 3 yet, because I haven't thought about it as much as topic 4. But you can pick.
Let's go 3, and I'll start.
Okay. All right.
Because I've given a little bit of thought. I think I know what I'd do.
Okay.
So we came up with a question. It's because we're talking about Universal Studios, a trip to Disney World, I believe. And
okay, so if you want me to hit that real quick, or am I gonna throw you
your
off
trip?
the thing? Yeah, I mean just like this.
Fill in whatever detail, whatever.
My mother-in-law had never been to Disney, downtown Disney. Last time she went to the Magic Kingdom, she was 15 years old. We took her to downtown Disney, which is shopping. It's outside. It's free to go in and walk around if you can actually not spend any money. It's just the shops and some restaurants and stuff. So we took her to that. And then somewhere like 9 or 10 o'clock, we took the boat, the monorail over to the gate of the Magic Kingdom and stayed outside the park, but at the gate to the park and watched the fireworks. So I mean, I went to Disney, but we didn't actually go to Disney. So, but we were down there, and it became a topic.
But you live, for people who don't know, he lives close to Disney. It's not like he went down to Disney. Well, relative to most people, close.
We made an overnight trip out of it.
It's not like you went from New York to Orlando to go shopping in a Disney-themed shopping mall, more or less. Like,
dude, I got that YouTube money.
On that private jet from YouTube money. Well, anyway, so we were talking about theme parks, and rides came up. So we were thinking, what game-themed rides would we want to ride? And I was saying, I look back at the game collection there.
Let's take a look at mine while you talk. Just try to get an idea.
Yeah, there's like that Call of Duty game right over there, because that's about all I'll probably play. So.
Well, we talked about
there it is.
We talked about
Anyways,
this.
I'm just kidding. Hey,
stop it! I'm gonna get mad.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
Look, that's the bad game collection over there. I'll point at Waxman because there's like 4 boxes in there. You see, there's like 4 boxes in there.
Yeah, he recently bought one game in the last year.
Got 9.
Nice, that's impressive. Anyways.
So I gave it a look, and I was thinking, I think I would want to go on a Halo-themed ride. I think that would be pretty cool. Because I like space, and I love that series, that franchise. And I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know how it would be. Maybe it'd be like, kind of like you're in a spaceship and you're trying to avoid the Covenant and things like that. And maybe you get to shoot some stuff too. I don't know, but I think that would be kind of cool.
Have you been to Universal by any chance?
I have not. No.
You've not. Have you been to?
Only been to Disneyland.
Have you ridden? I don't know what the
Yeah, Six
Disneyland
Flags.
ride was or anything, but have you ever ridden one of those rides that's like a motion simulator where you get like in a car kind of
Star Wars.
thing?
They have a Star Wars one at Disneyland.
All right. Because one at Universal, that's Spider-Man theme, it drives you. It's on a track and it goes through like the studio type thing, but it's like you're in the world of Spider-Man and all the villains come out and they like attack you and stuff, and the car like gets electrified and sprays water on you and stuff like based on what's going on. I think something like that, if you like hop in like a warthog and like ride through the Halo world and get attacked by stuff.
That would be so awesome.
Actually,
I would love that because I'm a Halo fan. So
yeah, like
that'd
you
be
get shot by a wraith and then there's like the Arbiter like jumps on the front of your warthog and tries to stab you or something. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
that would be
awesome.
awesome.
Leave in the chat what game you think would be super awesome, wonderful to ride through.
Yes, drop a comment. I meant to say that.
Absolutely.
Whackmed, you have one?
Actually, I would want to do a Legend of Zelda. The original Legend of Zelda, and I didn't know much about the further ones, but a Legend of Zelda, go through the different bosses that you go through, collecting pieces of the Triforce, and maybe as you go through and defeat these characters, the ride moves faster with more agility, and it goes to a climax point of where you've got all kinds of lights and stuff going on at the same time, and I think that could be well done.
That'd be pretty cool. Have you? Sorry, a little off topic. Have you played Ocarina of Time?
No. I played a little bit of the second one, but it was all the way back to the Nintendo Entertainment. Their very original one was the only one that I really enjoyed. I think Ocarina was in a Game Box, wasn't it, or the GameCube?
No, 64, N64.
I had a buddy had one on the GameCube, and I don't remember which one.
That one is Wind Waker.
Yeah, that's it. He had that one. It looked pretty fun, but it's a lot different.
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. It's more like open world, but I played Wind Waker, and they're remaking that on the Wii U, and that if assuming I get some extra money from somewhere, maybe that YouTube money comes in, I plan on getting a Wii U and getting that Wind Waker just because I love that game. I love the Zelda franchise. But Ocarina of Time, I think, is a must-play. It's a great, fantastic game. It pretty much has made Zelda into what it is these days, as far as being open world and some of the themes and things like that. But sorry, anyways, Oyster,
what do you got?
Well, so the reason I got up was because I was going to try to turn on my Xbox, or turn on my TV so I could look down my achievement list on Xbox to try to get some inspiration. Because I put some thought, I actually thought about Halo as well, but Bondfire said that, so I have a perfect one for the next topic, which is similar to this one, but when it comes to I don't know, maybe Forza, like a racing game, maybe. I don't know, because it's hard because you don't know what kind of ride you want necessarily. Like, I'm thinking like maybe a roller coaster based on Forza with like cars or something. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought of. I thought the Halo idea was good. Just because, I mean, there's lots of different stuff. There's not many games that have a diverse enough world, to be honest. Like, you can't make a Call of Duty ride. Like, what are you going to make the ride? Like, there's not a lot of games that have... there's not a lot of...
Afghan.
A lot about it. Maybe you could do something like GTA. Like, maybe make a ride of GTA somehow. Like a motion simulator ride, maybe, and you just... I don't know. It's hard, though.
I think that'd be pretty hard.
I don't know. I like the Halo idea.
You'd be, like, inspiring, like, robbing banks and picking up prostitutes and all the good stuff GTA involved.
The game already does that, so I mean, why not?
But when people think GTA, they're thinking picking up prostitutes, having coffee time, and robbing banks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm aggravated because this is my idea as a topic, and I don't have a good answer for it. Halo, I think, is the best answer, to be honest, but I can't think of it.
Another good Gears of War. I like that franchise. That's a good one. I don't know if it'd be an awesome ride, but it could be. You never know.
But think about the types of amusement. Halo's a really good idea. but I don't know what else I would do, to be honest.
Another cool one would be Dead Space. It'd be a scary ride.
That's a good idea as well.
So it'd be
Slender, make a Slender ride.
Oh, I really want to play that game.
I played it once, but I didn't really know exactly what I was doing, and I didn't want to play it at night because I didn't know if it, like, okay, PewDiePie, let's be honest, PewDiePie's going to overreact. Most of the people on YouTube are going to overreact and fake their reactions, so I didn't know if it was actually scary or not. Like, what? So I didn't want to play it at night, though, just in case it was. But I played it like once. I don't really know what happened, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I've watched a few of those YouTube videos, and I don't know. I like scary games like that just because if it's done right, you can put yourself into the atmosphere, and I don't know. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Silent Hill series. I think those games are really fun. I like those quote unquote survival horror games. So I think they're fun.
Apparently, I lost camera.
Well, you work on that.
Are you trying to bring it back up now and it's not working, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back up now and it's not working. I'd have to shut down XSplit and the whole 9 yards. So we'll just go without my camera.
All right, we'll try to fix it if you can, but if not, it's not the end of the world.
Well, the last time, the only way I could get it fixed was to shut down XSplit.
Well, we don't want to do that, do we?
No.
But yeah. So next one, topic number 4. If everybody's kind of got off what they want on that.
Yeah.
And if you could live, and this is another good one for you guys to comment below if you want to interact and let us know what you think. If you could pick one game to live a day in the world of, or longer than a day if you wanted, but you know, day in the world kind of makes sense. If you could live a day in the world of one game, what game would you pick? And I already know my answer to this one. Mine is Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I would want to.
Because I know they span different time frames.
I'd pick one of the ones that was based in like medieval Italy. I like those the best.
Like Renaissance times.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Like, or I guess I'm going to expand the topic a little bit. Also, if you could switch lives with a game character, who would you pick? Because I would like to switch lives with, like, Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2, or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Revelations, because he's the 3 and all those. I'd like to switch places with him for a little while, just to kind of see what it was like to be able to climb buildings and jump off and stab people and stuff and be an assassin. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That is kind of hard.
If you could switch places with one...
Well, we already know Whackman wants to switch places with Captain Price, because all he plays is COD, so we can just move on to Bondfire.
You know, I don't know. My avatar, and I'm going to ride that motorcycle. Like a banshee.
Stunt bike, or whatever you mean?
Yeah, the toy stunt bike where I can be my own motorcycle.
I think I got
creative. That is a creative answer. I'll give you that.
Stunt bike? Interesting.
Toy stunt bike. So switch places with his own avatar and ride a miniature motorcycle through his house, I guess.
Alright, okay.
That's a creative answer. I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Bonfire.
So if I could live a day in the world of a game, I got a toss up between Fallout 3. Check out my series Wasteland Adventures if you don't know. There we go. Or BioShock, just because the world of Rapture, the underwater city, I think it'd be really cool to explore that and just, I don't know, be inside. So it's a toss up between one of those two. Now,
yeah, I haven't played Fallout, so correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Fallout? It's like you start off in a vault that's like a sealed off vault, and then it's like some kind of, it was a nuclear war or something. Is why everybody's in a vault, and then you go outside and it's all radiation filled.
Yeah, it's pretty much the world's destroyed.
Explain to me why you would want to live in that world, where you can either be in a closed off vault or you can go into a destroyed world. Okay, that's fair.
It'd be fun to explore. I'm all about exploration.
What if you could switch with Joel in The Last of Us?
I don't know if I'd want to live in that. It'd be interesting though.
Maybe not live, but like one day. Like let's hypothetical. Let's say you're not gonna die if you get eaten by a zombie. Like you're no risk of death. Would you do it for like a day or two?
Maybe, but I think I would rather be Master Chief. Again, Halo. Just because Master Chief is he's badass.
Indeed.
I mean, but I think it'd be cool to be that awesome, and just destroy everybody if I wanted to.
I've never played a zombie game because I would play Last of Us, but I don't have a PlayStation. I'm gonna play Dead Rising 3. Last of Us is the only game I've ever seen that made me want to buy a PlayStation, but I'm obviously not gonna do that this late in the console cycle.
Yeah, I understand, but it's worth it.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to be in a zombie game, just because, I mean, I think from what I've read scientifically, a zombie apocalypse seems like it probably isn't possible.
Yeah.
So the only way to ever experience what it'd be like to be that, and not that you want that to happen. Like, I'm not saying I want a zombie apocalypse so I can live with the zombies. Like, that would be awful.
Yeah.
But to be able to experience that maybe would be kind of cool, I think.
Yeah.
I think that one of the reasons that I'm having some difficulty figuring out who better to be is because I think
you don't play enough games.
Well, I think the best story games are done already. I think the best story games came out and have already been played through. Like, how awesome would it be to be the original Metroid character? Bomberman, I think, would have been
Bomberman really Live on the Xbox Live Arcade. That's in like up to the new version, I guess. But that's a fun game. But
yeah, I have that one.
The Rampage, go around punching holes in buildings, which I guess is kind of like Godzilla.
Godzilla.
I mean, those games they're pretty standard, straightforward, and they're enjoyable to me. All of the, I don't know if Mass Effect campaign is anything like the multiplayer, and it's just got a really cool story. And from what I understand, Mass Effect is supposed to have one of the better campaigns throughout 1 through 3. So I'd rather play with people. Forgive me for wanting to enjoy myself with others as opposed to locking myself into a room.
Well, but you don't have to play. It's not like you have to play 12 straight hours of the campaign by yourself.
Some of us aren't very good.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, whatever. We don't need to get in a discussion, but yeah. So, anybody else have any answers to that? And people comment below for sure, because I'd actually like to hear.
We want to hear. That'd be a good one to hear from you guys from. So.
Absolutely. Also, go spam Whackman's channel with Whackman equals Captain Price, just to aggravate him.
Oh, that is good.
I didn't even like his character in the campaigns.
Because you know what started on my channel?
You know why you didn't like it? Because you haven't played all of the past CODs as much in the campaign.
I played the campaign of Mod 2, Mod 3, Black Ops 1, and most of Black Ops 2.
You haven't played the Call of Duty 2 campaign where you have Captain Price in World War II. That's what you haven't played.
Was COD 2 multiplayer as well?
Yes.
Was it?
I'm a champion at it. Yes, it is.
I thought
you can play multiplayer in that game. I played it. That was the first ever multiplayer game I played online. I played with friends and stuff, but But
I remember playing the Call of Duty 3 multiplayer. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing.
I'll tell you a really cool.
In tanks and jeeps and stuff like in Battlefield. That was a fun game.
It's a really cool multiplayer. Really cool looking multiplayer game is the one that Bondfire's been playing on his channel. Where crap, I keep hitting buttons. I gotta quit hitting buttons. Where what is that game? Is it The Last of Us?
Uncharted 3.
Uncharted 3, dude. For sure, that game looks so cool because it looks kind of like Mass Effect, but in a I don't know. It looks like the people that play that game are retarded because you just keep sneaking up on them. They keep running in front of you.
Yeah.
Maybe Bonfire's just really good.
No, it's not that because he sucks pretty bad. But no, I mean it's not. It's not that.
There it is.
It's not that he's bad at the game. It's just that why did that individual just run in front of you and not shoot? Or they turn and they look at you and then they turn and look somewhere else like, oh, that's my buddy. You're playing free for all.
Why do four different?
Well, though in one of those, I swear they were working together.
Why do 4 different people pull off FHJs off the spawn in COD to shoot down one UAV? People are stupid in every game.
Yeah, but they're especially not so awesome in this game. Like, I tell you one thing that I have not seen in that game. I have not
all the awesome people are playing Team Deathmatch because when I played that, oh my god, I just got destroyed.
I tell you one thing I've not seen in his free for all is I have not seen a single person with a sniper rifle. I don't know if there's any in the game. I'm just saying.
There is.
There's none in free for all.
Can you quick scope? Can you quick scope? That is the question.
On a third-person shooter?
It was a joke, but yeah.
If they had Call of Duty in third person, you'd be able to.
Yeah.
You guys ever played third-person Call of Duty?
I think I tried it once. I think in Modern Warfare 2, and it was just weird.
I remember in Modern Warfare 3, I was playing game battles, and I accepted a 1v1 match, and I did not read the fine print enough. I got in the lobby. It was third person, and it was so weird. Dude,
how do you switch it?
I don't think
It
you
was
can
like
do
a
it.
game
You
type,
can't
I
do it in
think.
Black Ops 2, but it was a game type in MW2, and then in Modern Warfare 3, and obviously MW2. I don't know about Black Ops, but definitely in Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, you could change, like, it's a game setting. Like if you were to go change the respawn delay or something in a custom match, like you could change it and say we want third person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's really weird.
yeah, it's odd. But are we done with this topic? More or less?
Yeah. That was good.
Okay, last one we have on the slate, unless anybody else comes up with anything on a whim, which I'm sure Whackman will find a good commercial to talk about. But we have gameplays and their relation to commentaries. Are gameplays important? Are they not important? Why do you think people want to watch gameplays that are good so badly? I personally don't even watch gameplays unless it's a commentary about the gameplay. I usually switch tabs to a different internet tab and just listen to the commentary.
Yeah.
But, me and Bondfire were talking about the other day, and he was getting frustrated because he's like, why do people search for games all the time? And I'm like, yeah, but like gameplays all the time. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of people fake gameplays anyways, and just,
Yeah.
I don't know, just general thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, why would you fake a gameplay?
Because if I can, well, the person, I'll tell you, the person, they were in Ant Clan at the time, which was the most popular pub stomping clan, but they've now fallen apart because the leader tried to sell the channel, and it just blew up from there. But his name was Ampluigi, and there was never, it was a quad nuke, it was either triple nuclear, or it must have been a quad nuclear, because people have hit triple nuclears, but I think nobody had hit a quad nuclear in Black Ops 2, and he, somebody who was running in a party with him earlier in the day, like, joined the match and was dying on purpose when he was trying to get the quad nuclear, and he got the first ever quad nuclear gameplay with that person dying intentionally, I guess, in the lobby. And this happens all the time. It's called getting dyers. It's where people get people they know to just join the game and then they just die on purpose. They don't even shoot back. It happens all the time. But it's hard to tell, you know, it's hard to tell if it's someone or not. But anyway, so he did that and he got the world record quad nuclear. The AMP channel got lots of exposure off of that. His personal channel got lots of it. You do it for you do it for the same thing you do anything else. You do it for exposure. If I can post, you know, triple nuclear in the title of my, and I said this to Bondfire, I said if I post nuclear in my title because I got a nuclear gameplay and put it in the tags, as opposed to a regular gameplay, that's worth at least 20 views just by having nuclear in the title. Now imagine if you're a channel with 100,000 subs, it's worth a lot of views if you can say I've gotten the first ever quad nuclear in this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth a lot. That's why people do it. So
I had a gameplay, and I don't remember what the video was from, but I needed a specific length gameplay, and I used some combat training. Combat training? Or, yeah, just the me versus the bots.
I did that in a video once. Got me a lot of hate. It's my most popular video on my channel. If you want to go check it out, let me get
I actually put in, you know, I put it in there that, you know, it's combat training, and it's obvious. I mean, everything's a Treyarch over their clan tag or whatever, and I actually asked one of the guys who left a comment, I thought, do you mind that this is combat training? And he's like, no, it's interesting. It's like, well, yeah, because they're set on recruit, and I'm just destroying them. But okay, well, I mean, if it does it even, so that brings me to my point. Does it even matter that it's real people? If you can, you know, start the game out with nothing but a bunch of perks and knives and kill a bunch of bots and go ham and bring in all these super cool kill streaks, does it even matter that you're doing it against real people or just bots? If they're going to fall down and die, or if they're going to have that bad a connection that they can't even fight back in a fair way, why not just do it against the bots?
Well,
for gameplays, I understand the to set aside doing it for prestige. If you're just doing it to have something to display behind your commentary, why not just do it against bots?
I have two things related to that. One is that the most popular video on my channel, which I regret, it has 17,000 views. It's where I wanted to rush out a video with the best gun in Call of Duty to get a lot of views, I will admit. But I thought I didn't do it just for the heck of it. I thought I had discovered the best gun in Call of Duty, and I'm like, okay, this gun is really good. Yes,
it is now.
It is really good if people know how to use it right. And I was in such a rush to get the gameplay out because I wanted to do it early because I didn't want T Martin to make a video about it and then it was obsolete, you know. So I wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. So I got a combat training gameplay for it, and the commentary on the video is garbage as well. But you know, that's not related to the topic. But so I got combat training gameplay, and a bunch of people were saying I was bad because I'm using combat training gameplay. I'm like, I'm bad because we've all played combat training. The fact that I played combat training does not mean I'm bad, but I understood where people were coming from. And I thought about it this way. Lots of people watch professional wrestling, right? Which is, staged. It's not legitimate endings. Now, I actually know a lot about, I've read done lots of reading on pro wrestling and, the insider stuff, and it's not as fake as people think it is, but it's still staged, obviously. So my question is...
Can I hit that soapbox real quick?
Yeah, sure, real quick.
These guys don't have fake muscles. They fall down on a trampoline that's got a sheet of plywood on it. Let's remember that it's got a sheet of plywood on it. They jump off the top rope and they go through a table. Maybe the table has some modification to it so that it breaks easier. They jumped off a rope and hit a table. There's an element of it that is not correct, and I love the way you put it, that the endings are not spontaneous.
Yeah, and they talk to each other during the match, saying who's going to do what. By the way,
but they still do all of these awesome feats of physicality. They just do them in a more safe way than they portray.
Yes.
Go ahead.
For those of you, a quick thing about the wrestling. For those of you who don't know, in pro wrestling, it's not fake blood. They actually cut themselves open in the forehead. It's real blood. But that's just a fun fact. It's not fake blood. But anyways, when they bleed, if they get hit by something. But anyways, lots of people think that's not
bleed.
True. But but I was thinking, people watch pro wrestling, right, because it's entertaining. You like seeing someone get suplexed off the top rope, even though, obviously it's hurting to take that fall and you're getting thrown by someone, but, whoever wins the match it's not an actual competition. It's all a show. So, if, I just now thought of this, with the whole combat training thing, if I can drop 8 swarms in a combat training game, as opposed to, having one swarm or 2 swarms in a regular game, why do people watch professional wrestling, for just an example of something similar, but they won't watch combat training gameplay? Do you see the similarity kind of there?
I see what you're talking about. That's an interesting point. My whole thing about this is I don't feel like the gameplays really matter, just because to me it seems like the content of the commentary is more important than the gameplay, unless, like you said, it is like a live comm, and that you're talking about what you're doing in the game. I understand that, but what I just don't get, and if someone can explain it to me, hit me in the comment section below, but why do specific gameplays like Nuclears, like the 100+ kills, why are those so popular if the commentary is the more important thing? I just don't understand.
And
I just don't get that.
To build on that point is that all of the people who get these beast gameplays, and I only have 3 Nuclears, and I can't get beast gameplays like these beasts, but the people all these gameplays are the same. They're all people spawn trapping in the same general area. They're all setting up the same way. Most of them have a full party of support. There's no I've watched a bunch of Nuclear gameplays or long kill streaks or whatever on the map Yemen. And you guys know on Yemen, the little building that's right by the church hill, the church hardpoint, there's a little building back there that's just got steps you go into. It's got one window. It's kind of a smaller building off to the side.
At the A flag. Yeah.
It's in the spawn, yeah. It's right next to the flag. It's people just sit in that building and the other team will spawn right outside that building and they just mow them down. It's I don't get why people want to watch. You get 86. I saw an 86 gun streak video go up today. Why is it impressive for you to get 86 straight kills and the other team's spawning right in front of you over and over again, basically? That's my biggest question. I understand if you want to watch a really beast gameplay, go ahead. Some people find it entertaining. It's fine. I find it entertaining to watch beast competitive gameplays because you're beating good players. But if it's the same thing over and over, I don't get where the entertainment is.
Yeah, I don't get why you'd want to watch somebody sit and just trap a spawn.
Yeah, and as a commentator, I strive to get good gameplays because I know that I can get more exposure and get more views off of it than if I use a regular gameplay. So I strive to get good gameplays. But it's I don't care what the gameplay is that I'm watching. As much as I don't care about seeing a beast 100+ or whatever, I don't like it when I see somebody post a 20 and 15 gameplay. That ticks me off a little bit, especially if it's a big commentator. I don't want to pick on Woody, but I'll use Woody as an example. When Woody posted a video and he went 25 and 13 in a game, it's just not it's you could do better than that. You just half-assed it and you didn't take the time to get a good gameplay. If I know that's the best you can do, then okay. But if you get a gameplay that's half as good of what you're capable of getting, then it's you know, that
Well, first,
that shows lack of effort to me.
I don't watch a video. I don't watch a gameplay video unless I'm watching the gameplay video for the gameplay. Like, it's one of the reasons why I'm not always up to date on Bondfire stuff is because I want to actually see those videos. Any other video, I can load them up whenever I want to and just catch what's being said. Now, I like, and I don't find it insulting if you don't actually watch what's going on in my video. If you're listening to the content, then you're there for what I'm providing anyway. I just put the video on there for the people who do want to see it. That's fine. I don't care about the video at all, really, at all. Now, with that one caveat being that I do want to see, you know, what Bondfire is doing on this one or that one specifically because I'm interested. I know that he has a good quality commentary, and when he puts the full quality commentary behind that gameplay and it's for the gameplay, then yes, I am interested to see what it is. Woody used to do Tac Tuesday, and I was very interested in
It was a good series. I wish he still did.
It was a very good series. I think he's afraid of repeating. That's one fear that I have, is to continue to repeat myself. Like, when the next game comes out, I'm gonna have a best gun for that one. I'm gonna have a favorite map for that one. I'm gonna have a this, that, and the other for that one. But how many videos can you make about using proper head glitching techniques? How many videos can you make about proper sniping technique? Those get repetitive. Do you want to do one for every single Call of Duty that comes out? I mean, I can. If you care, sure. Other than that, I don't care that the video is being played at all.
I agree. I think, I don't know, I guess the allure for some people is that they can't get the gameplay themselves, so they want to watch it, I guess. Yeah. I find it really, I love watching competitive Call of Duty just because I like the fact that there's lots of strategy. And I've started playing game battles more and more with some of my friends recently. And one thing I love doing, and Whackmed saw me tweet this, and I don't know if he was joking or if he got confused, but I tweeted that I love going over strats, and he made it into a guitar thing, which I don't know if that was what the deal was on that.
I have no idea what that has to do with Call of Duty. I thought you were talking about Stratocaster guitars.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's a miscommunication then, but strats means strategies. It's just a short term people use.
All year.
So, yeah, so, you know, one thing that I really enjoy doing is going in with my two game battles teammates. We play 3v3 because we don't have a great fourth that's online a lot at the moment, but we go into private match and we'll work out, like when we're playing Search and Destroy, we'll work out what side of the bomb we're going to plan on, how are we going to push, who's going to watch which area, and who's going to sit in which corner to watch each area and stuff, like strategies and how we're going to set things up. Like, I really enjoy doing that. So I like watching competitive gameplay because there's lots of thought that goes into it, there's different strategies, and you can take things from competitive and employ them in your own game, even if it's a pub, you could still do that. Like Whackman, I remember when you first talked about, this is an old video, I'll give you the plug sound. This is an old video, I don't remember what it was, but you said that you never really realized the Cap 40 was that strong until you saw people using it at COD Champs, I think was what you referenced.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that, like even small stuff you can learn from competitive. I can't learn from watching someone get constant VSAT from 5 teammates who are running support for them and just spawn trapping with an OP gun over and over.
Right.
Like I can't make myself better from that, and it's also not entertaining. So.
You know, and I'm not getting paid for this plug, but Rambo Ray, it does a series about why he chooses certain things, and he goes into the overview map in some kind of it's the after game play. He goes into the overview map and says, because my teammates are here, I know the spawns are this. And I'm like, you know, what I know about the spawn system in Call of Duty is probably as much or around the same as I would put average. What is average? What most people know about the spawns. If I'm here, they spawn there. You know, if I'm on this side, they're going to be on that side. What he knows about the spawn system on these maps is, I know that if I put my foot over this line, it ruins the spawns. If I know that if I'm sitting in this corner, it holds the spawn. And there's a level of the professional level of knowing this does exactly that. And like he was doing one on standoff. He is, I know because I'm here, they will have to have this spawn. They are required by the game mechanic to spawn right here. Like, he knows where the soldier's boot is going to hit the ground, the actual spot. He could put a Betty on that spot. I know the general area. He knows the specific spawn, spawn number Bravo 4. Bravo 4 spawn is the one that they're going to be in. That is a video I want to watch. I want to keep my eyes on that video. And there's a lot you can learn from competitive gaming in general, and whatever game it is that you like to watch, by watching the pros, because they have broken it down to a mechanic of how the scripts run in the computer, and that's the level that they can play on.
Well, right, which is because in Call of Duty is a mental game. Like, gun skill can only get you so far. Like, if you can lock right on target and just laser people, just like instantly aim, that's great and all. But if you have average spawn knowledge, you're not going to be a good competitive player at a high level. Like, you'll beat people in game battles based on just carrying off gun skill. But it's all mental. And like this whole spawn thing, like you have to know spawns, but like and stuff like that better if you're playing competitive. Because like even at a low level like game battles, like we know. Like even the whole process of anchoring, like the anchor's sole job is to control where the spawn is. Like in Hardpoint, 1 out of every 4 players on each team that is all they have to do is go to a certain part of the map to control the spawn. And like on Capture the Flag, if you know you want to pull on standoff, if you want to pull to the gas station side, you want to have somebody over at the gas station or in that general area blocking the spawn so that you know the enemy team is going to spawn by the tractor. And then they're gonna have to come all the way across the map to kill you. So, just in general, I agree. Like gameplays like that and stuff, and like when you're, if you do a tips and tricks video and you're pointing out certain tactical things like that you want to tell people to do, they can watch the gameplay to like see an example of it, stuff like that as well. But
yeah, well, you guys talked about some of those competitive videos, and I imagine because in what I've seen in competitive gaming, these guys do die a lot. I mean, they're not getting like 100+ game kills and all that, so it still brings me back to that point. Like, they're gonna die a lot. So what you're watching it for the strategy, yes, that's awesome. And some of those videos Wackman was talking about sounds really cool, as far as breaking it down, tips and tricks type things. But like, I don't get the obsession with if I just tag nuclear on this, it's just gonna get X amount of views and like.
I can tell you that doesn't work because I did the one on Rush. Here, give me that sound. Where's it at?
I just want to say, Wackman, if you're gonna make a video called "How to Get a Nuclear," have a nuclear gameplay. That's all.
No, man. You know what?
That's all
I did that specifically because you had tweeted out about this is a guaranteed whatever. I'm like, false.
Well, it seems to work for me.
I'm glad it works for you.
It may not be a well. Are you sure? It may not. It's not like you're gonna gain 100 views on every video necessarily, but. Like, are you sure you didn't get more views than usual, at least, on it?
No. Well, if you'll keep talking, I'll go find it, because it really was,
Well, maybe you're tagging wrong.
I don't know.
It seems to work for me. I usually get more likes. I'll say 100% sure I get more likes on videos like that. And I tend to get more views, but...
Yeah, I would like to have gotten more views. It didn't even get me views faster, so I was actually pretty disappointed in that. How to get a nuclear medal on Rush. And I put nuclear on Rush in quotation marks and capitalized. It got 21 views, 5 likes.
Well, you did the nuclear on Rush part. If you put how to get a nuclear in quotes, you would have doubled your views, I bet.
I tell you what, I'll go ahead and edit it right now. We'll see.
It's too late now though, because you missed your 4-hour window.
It's still in the search menu.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be as prevalent because it does. I feel like the YouTube search prioritizes more newer videos.
It does. It does.
So, anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting because I don't know. I guess it depends on the viewer and what you're looking for. I mean, I know that I guess it's a big factor of it. I guess people love those giant kill feeds and all that. For me personally, I care more about content, what the person's talking about. So like for example, those tips and tricks videos, it's more about the commentary, and if he's doing these overhead visuals, then that's a visual tool, but you're not necessarily watching full gameplay. I guess there. So I don't know. To me, content matters more than a gameplay, because gameplays, we've all seen them, and I don't know. Frankly, when I see those 100+ kills, and Oyster, we were talking about this. I know there's people out there who are really good and can get those legitimately, but I feel like there's so many people that stage those types of things that it's hard for me to believe everybody. So I feel like I don't even care about those. I don't even want to watch them, just because it's like, those people that have staged it, I feel like they've ruined it for everybody.
Another thing is you can only get those gameplays against crappy players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd rather watch someone drop 50 kills in an MLG hardpoint match, because I say, okay, this person went above and beyond and played exceptionally against players that are in the top 0.0001% of players in the world. He was able to dominate a lobby full of the best players in the world. It's the equivalent of someone dropping 60 points on the Miami Heat in an NBA game. Like, they did well against good players. It's like I've always said this is an analogy I like to make. If LeBron James walks into a high school gym and plays against it's two high school teams playing against each other, but one of them has LeBron instead of a regular high school player, and LeBron scores 90 points and has 15 dunks, is that impressive? Is that fun to watch? I mean, it might be fun to watch for a little while, but if LeBron decided to play in the high school league instead of the NBA, it'd get boring to watch him dunk on 5'10" centers all the time. After a while, which is exaggeration.
Which position is center?
Okay, I know you're not that dumb about basketball, are you?
Actually, I don't know what position any of them are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Wow.
You know what's even better is your reaction to that.
You don't even have to follow basketball to know what the center is.
I know there's a center, there's a guard, and I actually don't know about any other positions on the team.
Bondfire, can we kick this guy off? Do we need him? Do we need Whackman?
Maybe next week we should talk about some basketball.
Let's have NBA talk.
I'll tell you what, before we completely leave that topic, if you specifically want to see certain types of gameplays, let a commentator know, because I will also let you know that commentators in general don't know the answer to this question. There are things that are terrific, there are things that are acceptable, and there are things that get you more views. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what somebody wants to see.
Right.
Yeah, and I have found that with my worming thing, I get a lot of people that roll through an episode of Wormhole because they want to see specific, different ways to play a specific map, and that is actually somewhat popular, and in its own little right. And there are specific maps where the worming is more, where people actually look for that video. And there's certain maps where they avoid it.
Yeah. Like, I had someone comment on my video a few days ago, said, will you upload League Play gameplay? I'm like, okay. So I played League Play, and I got a decent game, and I uploaded that today. Like, if you, especially with small commentators, where, small commentators trying to please everybody, because they don't, they can't just say, screw you guys, I'm still going to get 100,000 views on this video anyways. Yeah, so, especially the small commentators like us, if you want to see something that's not completely, out of the blue. Like, don't say, Oyster, I want to see a double nuclear. Well, I don't think I can get a double nuclear. But, if you say, if you ask one of us and you say, I want to see a close pub match that you barely win, or I want to see an assault rifle gameplay, or something like that, I mean, you can probably get it from most people.
Well, the other thing is, if you want to hear somebody talk about something, let somebody know. Because that's one huge advantage that a big commentator has over a smaller commentator, is that they have an endless list of suggestions of things to talk about. And writers' blogs is actually pretty prevalent whenever you're trying to come up all by yourself with relevant material to people who don't tell you what they want to hear. Or what a generalization about what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you got a podcast like us and you eat up 5 possible video topics each week.
Yeah,
I could have easily made a video. I could have easily made a video about the amusement park ride thing or the small consoles. As could you guys.
Yeah, and we've actually had to do that. I remember one of the episodes where we actually went through and said, "All right, guys, we're going to have to burn a topic here." We're gonna have to burn a topic here out of your video stash. I want to talk about these things on my own video. We have to burn a topic because we can't come up with anything to talk about. That is, I tell you what though, we turned down a lot of topics too. Oyster and I argued argue
Oh my
today.
god, dude, we argue basically every week. You bring up a topic, and I'm thinking to myself, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but I don't say it. And then I do the same thing.
Well,
And every week
did.
I do the same thing. I bring up a topic, and Whackman's like, there's no way I'm talking about this.
Is that, what do you want me to say to that? I don't even understand why. What do you want me to say? Yes.
And I'm terrible at topics.
Bondfire just kind of sits there, and he's like, I'm just going to do whatever. I don't want to get into the argument.
I'm the middleman. That's what I do.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't.
How
You're
does it
trying to avoid the conflict.
2 weeks in a row that you've wound up in the middle. Is that because of the join? How we've joined? Or
I'm permanently here. That's
it's probably the best place for you.
I like it. Now, in the chat, I want to bring this up because I think it's an interesting topic about is the KD more important or kill death ratio or the W as far as gameplays? Because I think this does have some relevance to the topic we're talking about. Getting those. Did I hit a hard point?
I just think it's a simple question to answer, but carry on.
Well, I don't think it is simple. I really don't.
I'd like to think that you're not uploading a gameplay that's a loss, anyways.
I will, absolutely.
I uploaded one on Friday.
I will absolutely upload a
unless
loss.
it's for specific. Unless it's for the only two ways I see somebody uploading a gameplay as a loss. It's one, if it's like you're pointing something out specifically, or if it's like a competitive match and you lose in hardpoint by like 2 seconds and you're saying this is a really cool finish, like if it's something like that, then okay. Or if you're pointing out why you lost or something of that nature. Or two, if you just go so ham, like you drop 150 kills or you get a double nuclear, you do so well that it overrides the fact that you lost and the gameplay's still good, then that's understandable as well. Like if I drop 100 kills, I'm uploading that video. Even if I lost 200 to 50 in domination, I'm uploading that video because I don't get 100 kills every day. But otherwise, I don't see why you upload a loss.
I have gone through games before, and I've gotten all the way to the end of the game, and literally said out loud to the open lobby, "How did we lose this game?" I feel like I have played the last 10 minutes with a bunch of chuckle-headed water babies because I've gone like 27 and 8, 27 and 12, and I look, and the next closest person to me is like 8 and 40. I was literally doing this all by myself while you fed them kill streaks. I've been working. And you know what? Because so few people actually care what my gameplay is all about, I've never had somebody say, your gameplay sucks. Nobody cares what my gameplay is about. And because of that, I'll upload a loss if I have a good game. If I specifically have a good game, because you're here to watch me anyway. What does it matter what my team did?
That's fair. But I okay, so that happened to me literally yesterday. That happened to me. I went like 52 and 13 or something, like really good relatively, and I kept getting streaked all game. I kept getting lightning striked, and I kept getting held. I wasn't getting swarmed, but there was a somewhat frequent influx of kill streaks and sentry guns and guardians and stuff. And I'm like, I'm going ham, and I'm getting my own streaks. How are they getting streaks? How is this happening? Now, look, all 5 of my teammates were negative. 2 of them were split screeners, and one was like 1 in 13, and then he backed out, and then another one ended the match like 7 and 24. At least 3 of my 5 teammates went at least double negative, and the other 2 went negative. It's just, I don't know, it's frustrating.
So I also want to say that I
was actually playing the objective, and I usually don't. Just the last piece.
I really and truly believe that David Vondahar specifically put into this game a YouTube-seeking missile in the Hunter Killer drone. I'm just saying, if you play YouTube, it comes for you. Period.
No.
I agree.
If you are on YouTube, if you have any way, shape, or form linked your Xbox with a YouTube account, that Hunter Killer drone's coming to you.
I think I think they on the Hellstorm missiles and Predator missiles in Modern Warfare 3.
Yes.
They give everybody else blind eye except for you.
Except for you.
You're the only red square on the screen.
That's exactly how it works.
I don't remember the last time a Pred missile in Modern Warfare 3 got caught on my team and it didn't kill me. I can't name it.
I signed into Black Ops 2 one day, and it said that there were 300 killer drones waiting for me, and I hadn't even got in the lobby yet. That's not true, but it sounded good, didn't it?
I thought it sounded good. I was amused by it. It was whimsical.
Yeah, see, I don't feel like the W matters, and I'm not afraid to upload a loss, because sometimes, like you were talking about, you know, you do really good and your team sucks. I've got a few gameplays like that where, you know what, I just can't pull it together for my team because they suck so bad. But
It happens to me, but
on Friday, I uploaded a video. It was just a fun match. Uploaded a video. Go check it out.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't ready.
The producer
was that the like dual live com, like try live com that you did with?
Yeah, it was just a live com with friends, and it was just a fun gameplay. Cause see, on my channel, I just want to be entertaining. I'm not about competitive.
And he is. He is. Go check him out. Gamesite, youtube.com/gamesite.
To be linked.
So
He needs more time.
link down below. But with that gameplay, we lost. But what's entertaining about it is just the conversation we're having, and sometimes I get my kill streaks. I do have a good shining moments within the gameplay, but overall, it's a loss.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you're running with more than one, first, how do you lose if you're running with a party of more than 2? If you have at least half of your team in a how?
Well, we're just playing. We're having fun.
I know it's, but still, like I don't like if I have a party of 5 of my friends and we have a full team of 6, we don't even have to try. We steamroll people, and we're not. It's not like we're world beaters.
You're playing competitively.
But we're not trying. Like we'll be just randomly talking, and we'll still like me and Jazz. We just destroy people, and we're not. Neither of us are that good. I don't know.
Well, see, my theory is this: you care more about a W because you play for. You're more of a competitive player than us. I'm just playing for fun. I hate the idea of the KD. I think it's really influenced Call of Duty in a negative way as far as
all
the
emphasis.
Have,
yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, that's a different topic for another day. But as far as what's more important, for me, I don't feel like the W is important. If it's a fun gameplay or the content, the commentary is fun. Again, bringing back to our point originally, what's it matter?
I agree. That's you might have swayed my opinion on this. I'm not from a YouTube gameplay standpoint purely.
Yeah,
I agree. If I'm playing a public match in Call of Duty and I don't care if I win or not. If I'm playing a competitive match, obviously I care if I win.
Exactly.
If I'm playing a public match, I don't care if I win. Before I thought it was important to have a win in a YouTube commentary gameplay, but now I don't know. If it's impressive, as long as you do well, or if it's entertaining in another way.
Yeah.
Like if you lose and you go 20-15, don't upload that crap. I won't watch it. I'll just like it and move on.
Because no one, the point of it is, I mean, you want some sort of a decent gameplay as far as you're not dying a lot unless you're making fun of it.
Yeah. So. Last thing before we wrap up, I just want to congratulate Bondfire.
Absolutely.
Because he is the first person to sway my opinion on anything Call of Duty related, basically. Through about argument. Now. That is something that Whackman has been trying to do for weeks and weeks, and he's failed at.
That's because I'm right and you're wrong. And
well, see, maybe if you didn't take that attitude, I'd be more inclined to agree with you. But now that you said that, I can't agree with you. I don't want to. It's already predetermined in my mind.
The force is strong.
Bondfire, he just presented his opinion in a valid and logical way. He didn't make anything personal about it. I said, you know what, that makes more sense than what I would have said in counter to that, so I'm going to agree with him. Then Whackman says, I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm like, you're not right. I refuse. I refuse for you to be right.
Look here, Hippie Jr., go get a haircut.
Oh!
Dude, this is like short for my hair. Just don't even go there.
You got the mullet, don't you?
No, I don't have a mullet, but it's not.
You have a mullet?
No, dude, I don't have a mullet.
So if I'm a hippie, and you're not only a COD fanboy, maybe we can change COD fanboy to redneck.
Okay.
You got a mullet.
I don't.
No, he can't be. No, he's not a redneck. Do not give him that level of praise. Don't do that to him.
All right.
For him.
Okay, wait. Redneck is a high level of praise now.
You know what the term redneck is for? The term redneck was originally to denote a hardworking person. Their neck was red because they spent the day in the sun working. So, yeah.
You can make up... there's a certain word that is a slur against a certain group of people that originally meant bundle of sticks, and now it doesn't mean that. I'm not going to use that to say bundle of sticks now, am I?
Do you know why it originally meant bundle of sticks?
I don't.
Because whenever the witches were being burned, the homosexuals were put in the bottom of the pile of the fire because they weren't even worthy to be burned with the witch. And that's how they got you.
And you know what my point is? Redneck may have been a working person before, and that word may have meant bundle of sticks after the witch thing passed. But now what it means is what it means, and now redneck to most people. Now I have family members that I would consider to be rednecks, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's more of a lifestyle thing.
Choose your words wisely, young one.
No, I'm saying like I think if some people say like that they're a redneck with pride, and it's like yeah, if you're like into outdoors stuff, and you know you're like you know what I'm saying, kind of like.
Yeah, I hear backpedal, 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 backpedal.
No, I'm not backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling. I'm sprinting forward, but I'm just trying to figure out the right words. It's like some people consider say redneck to mean like backwoods or whatever, but then some people say redneck is just like a lifestyle that they do and that they live. And that lifestyle is not a bad thing. It's just that some people associate the word redneck as being a bad thing, but some people say redneck, that's my lifestyle, that I'm a redneck, and the lifestyle's not bad, so theoretically the word redneck's not bad. If that makes sense.
Could you say the same thing about hippie?
Hippie is one of those things. It's an identifier, and if you want to put a negative connotation on it, then that's the connotation you have assigned to it. That's my opinion.
You could do the same thing with redneck, could you not? Redneck is an identifier, and in your version, it is a positive connotation.
If someone looked you square in the eye and made a terrible face and looked you square in the eye and said "gamer," would that be negative or positive or something you'd be pleased with?
Depends on how you take it.
I'd say, sir or madam, I'm very proud to be a gamer. I love doing what I do. I interact with my friends through gaming, and it's a hobby that I like to do. And I don't think it really takes a toll on my. I don't think it really makes me a better or worse person, the fact that I do it. So you calling me a gamer is basically meaningless to me. I think if most people who are rednecks in the lifestyle sense, if you said that they were a redneck because they liked NASCAR or they liked to go fishing or they liked to be outside all the time or they drove or they worked on cars all the time as a hobby or stuff like that, you know, whatever it may be, then I think they wouldn't consider it to be an insult if you were saying that because of their lifestyle. Sure. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, though.
Where's that music?
Remember. How do we even start talking about that?
I don't know. Get out. Where's that music?
Well, you take the outro.
We're trying to give you a new name because you have a mullet, so.
Oh, that's true. But I don't have a mullet, though.
Not yet.
You're
working on it, though.
I've never had a mullet. My hair gets long, but it's never. It's more of like a.
It's okay when you get your hair cut. You just trim up the sides right there and let the back. It's okay.
No, it's more of like a thickness thing and like I don't know.
You really, if you're gonna talk about hair, you need to take the party hat off.
Oh, that's true. Okay, hang on. Let me find it.
I don't technically have that issue, although because I'm not using my camera on Google Hangouts at the moment, I can't even add the effects. So.
Okay, so see how my hair's kind of thin, like at the top, even though it's kind of longer. Like, just imagine it being a little more bulky. Not like an afro, but just like a little, like, it doesn't grow length as much as it grows, like, I don't know.
Is that red?
I don't get a mullet.
We don't know where you're going with
it. Is that red?
No, my hair's brown. It's lighting.
Somebody
called me a ginger in the last video, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a ginger. That's not accurate.
One of your subs keeps calling me a hippie.
I know.
You are a hippie.
I'm not, but whatever.
Wait a minute, are you Oregon or are you California?
Oregon.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking you were California. If you're Oregon, that really doesn't work at all. We'll have to find something else. Please remove the hippie connotation from Codfire.
It's the Northwest, dude. I just got back from Seattle, and everybody there was a hippie. Well, everybody.
Dude, in
Washington. Wait a minute. How long?
He
doesn't have long hair. I would venture to say because of the clean-shaven-esqueness and because I do know his occupation that I'm not going to release, that he cares about personal hygiene, and barring his music tastes, I don't think hippie works anymore.
I agree.
We'll find something else.
Bondfire's on a roll tonight as far as...
He's like winning all over. Wow. God. So now that you've won all over, it's time for you to dance, hero.
And you know what? We're going to dance because we got so many likes on the last 3-bar exploits.
What happened to his volume? I just lost volume.
You got to do the YouTube app.
There we
Get
go.
in there.
Where's it at?
Just click on the YouTube and it'll pop up.
YouTube.
I'm playing it through the YouTube. I don't know if people can hear it if I play it through the YouTube.
All in there.
Oh god, that's so loud.
Okay, let's just have this music go in the background while we talk, just for the outro.
Oh wow. So that was
You gotta push to
3-bar
talk, guys. You gotta push
exploits.
to talk. That's what it is. You have to push to talk.
Yeah, push to talk. Yeah.
So that was 3-bar exploits number 10. Oh, this is silly. Okay, 3-bar.
Whackman's failing at push to talk. That's what the problem is.
3-bar exploits number 10. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And here's some dancing on our way out.
Just wait for that bass to drop.
Okay.